Well, let me introduce you. So welcome, everyone. We are on our last session today of Connected North at Home. Really excited to finish the day off with Waukomaun. He is going to do some singing and drumming and potentially some dancing with us today. So if you have a little space in your house, that would be awesome. Yeah, and if you have any questions for Wauk as we go along, you can pop them in the chat. Everyone has chat access. I'd just like to welcome you, Wauk, and we're looking forward to a really fun session and a nice way to finish up this already great, beautiful day. So thanks, Wauk.
And I'm going to be Zooming and driving or WebEx and driving. So we'll see you in the car.
Sounds good.
All right, Bojo, Waukomaun Indigenous Cause, Wasak Sing and Indonjaba, Gigo Nedo Dem, Tekaranto and Dao. Hello, my name is Waukomaun Pawis. I'm Ojibwe from Wasak Sing First Nation, and I'm really excited and thankful to be joining you all today to deliver a follow-up drumming session. So last week I did a drumming session, talked about a certain story revolving around how one of the big drums came to be. I have the drum behind me here. And we were relating it to Earth Day, and yeah, and so I wanted to follow up this week by getting more into the dances and share some of the other songs, have you as the participants to be able to participate a little bit more. So I want to talk a bit about the songs, a bit about the dances, share some stories around those as well, so that you have some context behind those. Okay, so I think I'm just going to open it up with a quick song, and then we'll start getting into the dancing. Akida, Bindigengoma, Wenesheni Mehuaheo. How Miigwech. So that first song that I opened up with is just a welcoming song. We'd like to start off in a way that that just in that song, I'm not fluent in my language, but the way that I understand it is it says, "Stop what you're doing and come and check this out." And it's a way of inviting everyone to come together and participate, and we're inviting the spirit of our gathering to take place, the spirit of us coming together, having a good time, and being able to share and learn. And so I just want to say, Miigwech, thank you for joining me today, so that that I can share one of my gifts and one of my skills with you. I also like to start off by acknowledging my knowledge keepers and my elders for passing on the knowledge to me. In my last session, I talked about how in my community we didn't have we had this a long time ago, but we had to kind of go underground with our drumming and our knowledge. Some of it was lost, and we had to have some of my knowledge keepers actually left my community, got the knowledge and brought it back. And I was one of the first youth, I feel like, in my community when I was in kindergarten. I got to sit down at a big drum, learn about my culture and my identity, and it's been really amazing to be a part of that and to learn about that. And it's really helped me with my own cultural identity and being proud of being Ojibwe, being Anishinaabe, being from my community. And so I just want to acknowledge them. Katie, I just wanted to just check in with you. How does it sound? I know last time I was watching the video back, it was a little bit, the sound was kind of clipping in and out. I just wanted to say if it's sounding pretty good.
It's not bad. It's better than before. It has moments of in and out, but not, no, it's pretty good. Yeah.
And what I can do is I'll back up a bit more and try that out.
Sure.
Okay, so with today's session, what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk a bit about the different styles of dance that take place. I can only really speak from the style of dance that I do, which is grass dance. So I can give you some pointers on how to do grass dance, and I can talk a little bit about the other styles of dance and just what they're all about. So when I'm referencing the styles of dance, I'm talking about dances that you would see at a powwow. So there's many styles of dance for both men and women, and I want to start off with just the basic steps, so that if you yourself have been to a powwow, maybe you've had the opportunity to dance, but let's say you haven't had the opportunity, or you've never been to a powwow and you'd like to go. I want to give you the kind of the basic step and tell a story about the reason why we do this specific style of dance step. So I'm going to just stand up right here. I'm going to back up a bit. Hopefully you can hear me still. Maybe I'll just adjust my camera a little bit more so it doesn't clip off the top of my head. Okay, so when we're dancing at a powwow, usually the drum's in the middle of the circle, and then you'll have people standing around the drum, and then you'll have dancers dancing around the drum in a circular fashion, and then you'll have the audience around them. And so in my in Anishinaabe culture, we dance around the drum in a clockwise direction. That's how we view the sun going around the earth. It goes around the earth in a clockwise direction. Now my Iroquois, Haudenosaunee brothers and sisters, they actually view it the opposite way. So if I were to travel to their territory and they were to have a powwow, we would actually respect their territory and dance around in a counterclockwise direction. And I've been to social gatherings and we've exchanged our drumming styles and doing that sort of stuff. So it's really cool to learn about other cultures and other groups across Canada and how we have similarities or differences. But so for the basic step, when we're talking about dancing at a powwow, we have two basic moves. So I invite you in your home to try it out along with me. And so the reason why I wanted to share this with you is that if you do go to a powwow, when they do songs called intertribals, they're inviting everyone to come out and dance and participate. And if you go there, you might feel a bit shy. I don't know how to dance. I don't know how to dance this music. I see everyone dressed up in their very beautiful regalia, and they're doing all these different steps. So you might be intimidated or shy. And so this is the basic step to get you started, so that you feel comfortable to just get out there and try it out. So 2 steps. The first step is I want you to focus on your steps with your feet, your left foot, your right foot. So I'm going to start with my left foot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stomp on the floor a little bit. So I'm going to go, I'm going to do 2 stomps, kind of like 1, 2. And then I'm going to move over from my left leg to my right leg, and I'm going to go 1, 2. Then I'm going to go back to my left, 1, 2. And back to my right, 1, 2. So then you just repeat that process on both sides. And what you'll end up with is this. On your left, you go left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's the very basic step to get you started. The second step is we use our shoulders. So what I want you to do with your shoulders is just tilt to the left, and then tilt to the right, tilt to the left, tilt to the right. So that's the basic step. So now if we combine those 2, what we're going to get is something that looks like this. So I'm going to lean to the left as I do my left step, left, left. Now I'm going to lean to my right as I do my right, right, right. So it kind of looks like this. Left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right. And so they say the story within that is that when you go to a powwow, I don't know if anyone here has ever experienced when you have a bad day and you just get this feeling that's on you. It kind of like weighs your shoulders down. Some people like to say there's a chip on your shoulder. It's just like, oh, you know, like I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, or I have to do this test today, or I did my test, I'm not sure how I did. You know, something of that nature that just kind of makes you feel a little bit down, and you're really thinking about it, and you're worried about it. So they say that when you have this chip on your shoulder and you go to a powwow, let's say you're dancing around, the reason why we tilt to our left and our right, let's say we have that chip on our shoulder and we're moving, and we tilt this way, that chip falls off our shoulder onto the ground behind us, and we dance away. But meanwhile, that chip's still there, and the person dancing behind us is coming along, and they're stomping, right, right, left, left, right, right, crunch. They step that bad feeling or that chip in your shoulder away. So that when you come to a powwow, you can have a great time. You can have a fun time, and you can enjoy yourself. It's letting go of those negative feelings, those bad feelings, and embracing the spirit of the gathering, which is to come together and have fun. So I'm going to just drum a standard beat, and I want you all to just try it along with me, okay? So we're going to start with our right leg now, okay? So we're going to go right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. Okay, very good. So that was a very slow tempo. There's varying tempos. That tempo just means the speed of the music. So sometimes we'll have slower songs, and sometimes we'll have faster songs. So your feet when you step will follow along with that tempo. Okay. So I'm going to sing a song, and you guys can at home you can try along dancing with me. And I'm going to try to dance and sing at the same time. You'll probably see me very winded and breathing heavy at the end, but I invite you to come up and join and dance with me. We're just going to dance on the spot. If you have the room in your house to kind of move around a little bit, try to go around in a clockwise circle. But of course, I want you to be safe and manage in the space that you're in. So be safe in your home. Yo, 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 hey, ha, way, ha, yo, hey, hey. Way, hey, yo, hey, ha, way, ha, yo, hey, hey. Yo, hey, ya, yo, hey, ya, way, ha, ya, way, ha, ya, yo, yo, way, ha, hey, ha, yo, way, hey. Hey, All right, so we'll come back closer. Maybe take a bit of a drink here. I just want to say miigwech again for joining me today. I'll talk a little bit about some different dance styles now, and I want to challenge you guys a little bit later on to maybe a little bit of a game that you could play or that we would play at a powwow. There's a couple other dances that we do that are really fun and get the allow us to really demonstrate the different styles of dance. And so we'll have specific dance groups go up or different categories of dance. And so I'll share a bit about grass dancing now. Okay, so I really like grass dance personally. It's something that I've always done since I was really small, just because I really like the way that it looks. Grass dancers will have a regalia that will have a lot of fringe that hangs off of the different parts of their regalia, and it's to mimic grass. So a long time ago, you know, we didn't have modern tools like a lawnmower or like a, what do they call them, weed whacker. And so we didn't have those types of tools to go outside and clear an area for the dancers to come out. And so what would happen is we would have our gathering, the drum would go out into the middle of the field, and the grass might be really tall. It might be up to someone's waist, maybe even higher, I'm not sure. It just depends on where you're at. And so they would set the drum up in the middle, and they'd have the grass dancers go around and dance in a circle and do their style of dance. And their style clears the area. We were like the lawnmowers of a long time ago. And so what you would see grass dancer is that they would use styles, steps that would mimic, like say the grass is really tall, they would bring their feet up high and they would stomp it down, or they would get some grass and they would stomp it down. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to get the grass and they would step over it so it stomps down, and then they pat it into the ground. And they're stomping really hard. And they're trying to stomp it down so that that grass doesn't stand back up. And one of my good friends who talks about this story, he talks a bit about this way. If you think about it, sometimes there's bugs or there might be snakes in that grass. And so you kind of want to just say, you might not want to be here because we're going to dance. And so if you stomp kind of hard, you're kind of scaring them away a little bit, but you're making that area safe for all the dancers to come in. So when a grass dancer dances, one of the tools he likes to say is, think of yourself out in the field like a scarecrow. So a grass dancer will put their arms up like this, and they'll mimic those dance steps where they might go off to the side, reach out far, and they're stomping on the grass. You come back and they reverse everything. So if you think of a mirror, you can see yourself. So if I'm going to step with my left leg, I'm going to do something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of draw 4 points with my left leg as I kick out. I'm going to reverse that with my right leg. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And kind of mirrors the last style of dance. And so that's just something that a grass dancer will do as they go around there. So they'll be stomping around like this, stomping that grass down, doing kind of moves like that, and that's their dance style. They have more of that shoulder tilt than some other dances. So I talked about those basic steps: our right, left, left, and our shoulders. That's the basic foundation of all the dances. So if you like to think of dance as like kind of like Lego blocks, that's your first block. And then as you learn about the other styles of dance and how they dance, you can add on that extra little bit of flair or style onto it. So they have another style of dance for usually young women, girls do this style of dance called the fancy shawl dance. They have like a shawl that they have over their arms, and they move it like this, or they might go like this, but they call them, basically they're mimicking like a butterfly, and they'll kick their legs up nice and high, and they're trying to look light, they're trying to look like they're floating. So their dance steps will be that 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and they'll go around like this. And that's their dance style. And they might cross their feet a little bit like this. You see when they get fancy footwork going. Other styles of dance for our traditional, you might see these folks having what's called a roach on their head. Grass dancers will have that, usually made out of porcupine hair, maybe horse hair. They'll have what on their back feathers sticking out called a bustle, and they might be carrying something. They may be carrying something like a stick, or have a shield or something like that. But they're making like what it was like to hunt a long time ago. And so you might see them getting down nice and low, and they're looking around. They're tracking their food. They're looking around. They're going hunting. So that's what they're mimicking. So you'll see them. They'll get low. They'll put their shoulders down like this. And if they see something, they might even do a move like that, like a bow and arrow kind of thing. And then we have other styles of dances where our women, our traditional women, will really reserved for our elders, our women elders, or those who want to take it a bit slower. They usually have a shawl, take it over their arm. They might carry a fan. They'll do really small steps, and they'll kind of just bob like this. So they're like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. They're not just doing one step, and then they'll do kind of like these half moon turns. So if you think of like a half moon, they'll turn like that, and it's very, very elegant. They'll usually have like a shawl, some fringe on their thing, and it just kind of weaves like this. It just goes with the motion. It just looks really cool if you get the chance to see that. There's other styles of dancing there. They're really cool, really fun. One of the ones that I want to get into now is I want to test you guys' physical endurance a little bit and get your heart racing. So we have 2 different styles of dance. This one, usually found out in the prairies, it's called the chicken dance, and it's based off of the prairie chicken. And usually what they're doing is they're trying to move around really quick, and they're usually trying to dance for their partner and try to attract a partner. And so you'll see them kind of do these moves where they're kind of like moving their head like obviously the dancer will mimic that, moving their head like a bird, and they'll shake all over. That's the whole idea, is shaking all over, because that's how the prairie chicken moves. So there's going to be kind of like 2 to 3 parts of this dance. So the first part, I'm going to drum like this. I'm dancing. I'm hitting the drum really hard. I mean quickly. So what I want you to do at home is I want you to shake all over like this. Shake all over. Shake as fast as you can along with the drum. And it's going to really test your, get your heart going. Then the drum beat is going to change. It's going to go to something like this. So it's kind of like this double step kind of thing. So it's kind of like that 1, 2. It's going to be a bit harder to follow along, but it's kind of like you bounce. You just bounce a little bit more. There's more of a bounce in your step. And then after, it's going to finish with this, something like this. just that straight beat. So then you go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's kind of like the cool down part of the song. Okay? Let's see if I remember the song now.
The sound is really good when you're back there. It sounds really good.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to shake all over at this part, okay? Now we're going to bounce in our steps. Oh, I am sweating. How about everyone else? Woo. All right, so that one is the chicken dance. That one originated out in the prairies, where they have prairie chickens. I'm Ojibwe. They have Ojibwe out that way, but I'm kind of like woodlands Ojibwe. So we have a lot of trees, and I live on the shores of Georgian Bay. That's where I come from. And so as I gotten older, I learned a lot about that. I really like that style of dance. It's really fun. It's gets the heart really going, heart racing. It's a really fun one. The next one I want to do is kind of similar to that. Why I like this one, it's going to continue getting our heart going. And then after that, we'll go into some other ones that will kind of get us to cool down, and we won't be so active and kind of getting our heart rate going. So we'll do another quick one. We call this one the Shake Up. This is a really fun one that we can do. Is getting everyone involved. Again, we're going to shake at the beginning of the song. This song is a competition between dancers and drummers. So usually the drum group will go. And the point of all the drummers is to stop on the very last drum beat, stop at the same time. Now, when I was growing up, when I was really young, I would often be like mixing up my drum beats. So sometimes our drum didn't sound as good because we were all kind of really young and learning about you know, learning about how to drum and be like sometimes you hit that drum and it just there's like a vibration on the drum and it hits your drumstick and it flies up and it kind of throws you off when you're drumming together. And so that's usually on this drum I have behind me here, like a big drum like that one right here. So this one's actually children's drum. It's meant for youth. My cousin Lorraine gave that one to me to instruct children on how to drum, share some of my teachings and my knowledge with them, give them just an instrument that they can play with that had no, like that just anyone could use, and there was no like obligations or anything of that nature that like a specific group of people had to sit there. It's more of a teaching tool, and so I get that opportunity to share with youth, and I'm really glad that I got to bring that Dewegan out with me today. Okay, so that next song I mentioned is a shake up, and so I'll just demonstrate it really quick. So what's going to happen is it is as I mentioned, a competition between the dancers and the drummers, and so when that last drum beat hits, the dancers have to freeze. They have to stop what they're doing at that very last drum beat. And if you've been dancing for a while, it's pretty easy because you get a sense of when the songs are going to end. You kind of can learn them. There's a specific pattern. You can hear at the very end. I usually go, oh, baby drumming, and I'll go. And those loud kind of end drum beats kind of let the drummers know the song's going to be over, and it lets the dancers know it's going to be over. So that kind of typically happens in our thing. So I'll sing this song, and it'll go like this. I'll start off again with one of those. This is called the shake up. So at this point, we're all shaking all over, right? And I'll sing part of the song, and then I'll go into a straight beat. And then everyone just dances the straight beat, has fun dancing however your style is, or however you want to dance. And then I'll do that. And then the drummers and the dancers all have to stop at the same time. We usually say the tie goes to the dancers, or if the drummers keep drumming, then the dancers win. But if the dancers keep like, and then they stop afterwards, then the drummers win. So it's usually a really fun competition to have, and there's some tricks that the drummers try to employ during the dance. So I'm gonna do a test run, maybe 2 runs. I'm gonna show you one of the tricky ones, and then at the end we'll kind of have a competition, a friendly competition between me and you folks at home. Okay? So the first 2 will demonstrate how we do the drum, how we do the song, and how we do the dance. Okay? So we're gonna shake up. Everyone can kind of stop, take a quick little break, and now we're going to go into the straight beat. So on that last beat, that's when everyone stops. And I don't know if you heard there, but I did that. Those louder beats at the very end, that's your clue to let you know that the drummers are about to stop. Okay, so let's do one more demonstration on how that goes, okay? So we're gonna start with a shake up. So good job to everyone. I know you all danced and stopped at the right moment in time. So good job, everyone. So I'll go into the next one. I'll show you sometimes the drummers can be a little bit sneaky and throw some tricks out there. So I'm going to give you a demonstration and show you what the drummers might do to kind of throw everyone off. We're going to start off with the shake up part again, and then we're going to go into the straight beat. You're going to listen very carefully to when that drum stops. You got to stop too. don't know if you noticed, but in that one, usually I sing way-a, 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 ho, kida, about 4 times. I kind of sang that way-a, 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 ho, kida, and then I stopped. I did it once. Way-a, 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 ho, kida. And then I hit the drum hard again, stopped again. And then sang it one more time for the 3rd time. And that was the end of the song. So it kind of throws the dancers off. We're really testing the dancers to see if you're listening and you're following along to that drum beat. Okay, why don't we do one more round for fun, and then we can have what we would call the competition. The real winner takes the cake kind of dance at the very end. And we'll see who is going to succeed and who's going to win. So this is what we would do at a powwow. It's really fun. Oh, Kida. Wera, 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 ho, 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 Kida. Okay, so now I think everyone's ready for the final challenge. So we're gonna get to it. So, and now that everyone knows, we do the shake up, and then we get into the straight beat. And yeah, we'll see who's the winner. This is just a fun game. You know, usually in a powwow setting, everyone can see the dancers and hear the drummers and see exactly when things end and who are the winners are. But this is just a friendly game, and see if you guys at home can follow along and stop on the last beat. Okay. All right, so how did everyone do? Were we able to stop on time? Obviously, the drummers have some more tricks up their sleeves, so to speak. And that's why we really challenge you to listen and follow along and see if you can follow along with the clues. So that was really fun. It got my heart racing. I'm catching my breath from the very first song. And I'm certainly sweating a lot. Everyone having a great time out there?
Yeah, Gabby says she's been participating. She's having lots of fun, enjoying. Great. I even tried, but thank God no one was watching me.
And this is a safe space where no one's watching and judging. Yeah, like I mentioned, at a powwow, we have intertribals, and we invite everyone to dance. Now, one of the big teachings that I learned about dancing was that if you go out there and dance your own style. Go out there and just have a good time. That's the most important thing. And the way that I was told is that the way that you feel like moving is the creator speaking through you and showing you how you want to dance. So you should be able to go out there and dance with no one judging you. But that's why I like to give that starting teaching about the dance, is just to give you that basic building block. And then from there, you can dance however you want. Now, I know I've certainly, I'm generally very shy in situations that I'm not familiar with. So I know when I was younger, I struggled with being shy and going out there and dancing. I used to dance a lot when I was really young. And I remember that I know someone made fun of me. Well, not necessarily directly made fun of me, but they laughed at me in the way I was dancing. And that kind of put me off for a while. But I realized later on they weren't laughing at me to make fun of me. And it was all like, it was a person that I knew that was from my family, and they were just like, it's like kind of like, oh, look at Waukomaun, he's so cute when he dances, because I was really young. But now that I'm older, I dance and I just enjoy myself. I go out there. I still feel like I'm not a pro, but I just go out there and I have fun, and that's the most important thing. So we have maybe just a few more minutes of this drumming, and I want to share another style of drum song and dance that you might encounter if you go to a powwow, and it's just a really beautiful style of dance. It's called a round dance. It's a bit trickier here, where you might not have a lot of people, maybe in your own home, maybe you're by yourself, or you have just another person. But this is something that you can practice. I think just it's a basic easy step. What we're going to do is we're going to do a side step. And so we're just going to go in a clockwise direction again. And typically what you would do is if you're in a larger gathering, you would hold on to hands with somebody beside you, and you would kind of do this step, and you do like a bob as you step. And you can move your arms around like this as you go around the drummer or the drum group or whatever, and everyone dances in this circular fashion. It's just everyone coming together. And it's a really fun style of dance that just gets everyone involved. And so I really love that kind. And then the drum beat's different. So we've had a couple different styles of drum beat today. We had the straight beat. We had the kind of shake up one, which is really fast tempo of that straight beat. And then even when the drummers all drum, they don't hit the same thing. They might be like different styles of like just really tapping really hard on the drum. We had that kind of like a double drum beat kind of sound. This kind of uses that same one, but we're emulating the sound of our heartbeat. So in our last session with me, I talked about the story of the heartbeat and why we call the drum Ode. Ode is heart in Anishinaabe, Moen. And so Ode, it's to make the sound of a heart. So that's essentially a loose translation of what the drum is. It's the gun part of the last part is like to make the sound or to do something, kind of like a command. So it makes that the sound of the heartbeat. And so what we're going to do is on this, I'm going to do like a drum beat, kind of like that, almost mimicking like a heart. And what you're going to do is you're just going to go like around in a circle. And if you have family at home that you can join in, you know, it could be just the two of you, three of you, however many people you have at home. But if you're at home, what basically all we're doing is we're doing a side step like this. Okay? We're going with our left foot. Our left foot's leading around. We're going in that clockwise direction. If you're Haudenosaunee and you're watching this, feel free, if in your culture you believe in going into counterclockwise, feel free to do that because you're on your territory or that's how you do things. I'm not here to say this is how it is. Many of our communities, the way that I understand the knowledge is just how it's been passed on to me, and I'm still a student of my culture and learning about drumming and all the stories that accompany it. And so the way that I'm even sharing with you might be different from another person. So I'm just always open to hearing the stories and incorporating that into how I teach and share. And again, I just want to say Chimigwech to everyone for being here today. So we're going to do a round dance song. All right, me Gwetch. Whew. A really fun song. I like that one. It's played in a two-step as well, so it's another style of dance where you might have a partner, you hold hands, you kind of crisscross your arms, and you kind of rotate them like this. It's usually a follow the leader type. So you might have the two lead dancers at the very front of the dance, and they might do fun things where they'll put their arms up, they might spin their partner, they might go one-handed off and do their thing. They might line up in a certain fashion. They might start snaking around and doing some really cool, fun things. Just some really fun dances that we incorporate during like powwows and that sort of stuff in our social gatherings. It's very, very fun. I love going to different communities, seeing how different communities do their social gatherings, do their powwows. It's usually something new. I'm always learning. It was really fun going out to Saskatoon one year, and they had a round dance, and that went on. I think we got there at 9 o'clock, and it went until like 3 or 4 in the morning. And I'd never experienced anything like that. It was really fun going to a community there and participating in something like that. It's completely different from the community that I come from. So it was just really fun to seeing that. I just want to know, does anyone here have any questions for me today? See, I'm looking at the chat here.
Do you have any questions for Wauk about dancing or the drum?
Well, I had a lot of fun. If anyone has any questions, I'll just keep talking for just a quick sec. I just want to say Chimigwech to all of you for joining me today. Chimigwech means big thank you in my language, and I'm just really happy that I have the opportunity to come and share my culture, my identity with you all. You know, to participate in this learning and to have fun. I know it got me very active for today, and I hope you were able to participate, get active as well. Feel free to check out my previous video that I did some more storytelling. And then if you want to watch this one again, do some more dancing, you can watch this one again later on when it gets posted. So Chimigwech.
That was amazing. Thank you so much, Wauk. That was really, really, really nice end to the day. So thank you so much for being so brave and getting up and dancing for us. So you've inspired me to not be worried about who's watching. So thank all the kids for joining us. And I saw your son was in joining us too. So that's awesome. Gabby said she had lots of fun. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thank you. Have a super evening. Get out and enjoy some sunshine. Okay.